Welcome to FSC. I'm your host, Kyle L. This is the fall edition episode. Sage, cumin, garlic rub pork tenderloin, sweet potato gnocchi with mascarpone cheese, hazelnuts, and a braised kale. Not to mention to top it all off with an apple and apple cider ham stock reduction. Kyle L, y'all, FSC. So I have some fennel seed, some cumin seed right here. I'm just toasting it so I can have a nice aromatic flavor for our rub. It's gonna have some sage and some garlic in there as well on our pork tenderloin. So I've trimmed off a lot of this extra fat off of these pork tenderloins, but now I'm gonna take off this piece right here. This is called the silver skin. And this doesn't cook up real well, it's really inedible, so I'm gonna show you how to get it off. What you can do is take your knife, sharp knife, and you wanna make an incision. You want to take your knife and drag it as close to the silver skin as possible, removing it. So our rub will not be complete without some garlic and some sage. So I'm just going to smash some real quick, chop some garlic, remove the flesh, and then we're going to add this to our rub for our pork tenderloins. Fall grilling, flagrantly fragrant cuisine. What's going on, y'all? Okay, so we toasted our fennel and our cumin. Now I'm about to add it to this coffee grinder. Well, actually I call it a spice grinder. Add everything in there, shake it on up, and add it to the sage and garlic. There you go. Always keep two of these in your house. One specifically for spice grinding and the other one for your coffee grinding. This flagrantly fragrant fennel and cumin to that sage and garlic. Be generous with the salt, be super generous. A little bit of cracked black pepper. Just adding some neutral oil to this. Grapeseed oil, because it doesn't impart any of its own flavor. It just gives us that oil that this lean piece of meat needs. Oh yeah. Rubbing this pork tenderloin down with fall essence. Sage, cumin, garlic, and fennel. And let's lay these on there now. Oh, I love that sound. You're gonna turn them every 3 minutes or so. Every 3 minutes, turn a piece. And we want to get it brown and caramelized on all sides. Then I'll move it to indirect heat, and we're looking for an internal temperature of 155 to 160. Because that's when you get that nice rosy peak and it's tender. That smells so good, you have no idea. So in 3 minutes, we're gonna flip it about a quarter, and we're gonna keep flipping it every quarter till we get it brown on every side. And then after that, we'll get a nice caramelized color. Then we're gonna go ahead and put on indirect heat. About 12 to 15 minutes, you should be done. We're looking for an internal temperature of about 155 to 165, right in between there. They'll still keep cooking after you're done. Oh. Yeah. All right. That looks like love right there. Sausage and mushroom. I did mushrooms the same day, almost a year ago to this weekend. Actually, a year ago to this weekend, we were doing mushrooms. I was doing mushroom risotto. Pack it up and I'll do the next one inside. So they've been in the oven now for about 10 minutes in a 350-degree heat convection oven. So I'm pretty good at telling by just a touch. They're are right where I want them to be. Nice and tender, about 155 to 160 is what I'm looking for. If you want to do 165, that's fine, but anything over that, it's too done. It's too dry. Now, this is sweet potato gnocchi batter. If you don't know what gnocchi is, it is a potato pasta, which is pretty much just potatoes and flour mixed together. I use sweet potatoes on this one right here. Now, I made the dough previously, and that recipe is on my Tumblr page. With the magic of TV, though, or the internet for that matter, we already have some made. So I'm going to take this, put in some boiling water. We're going to go ahead and toss it in some maple syrup, some brown butter, some cinnamon, all those good yummy things, man. Fall flavors. It should cook in about 6 minutes, 8 minutes tops. Make sure you watch it, and it should be a little bit more spongy in its texture. So I have here some hazelnuts. Hazelnuts are perfect for the fall. They grow pretty much all over Oregon. If you don't do hazelnuts, you can easily do this recipe with pecans or walnuts. I just like that flavor, and it's a great fall flavor. So I roasted these at 350 degrees, so the skins will come off about 8 minutes. We're gonna chop them up now, just a couple of them.
Like this, they're good.
Pulling the dumplings out, getting ready to toss them in this butter once it turns brown. We're putting them in this brown butter. Gonna let them caramelize a little bit. Then we're gonna add maple syrup to them. Some cinnamon. Adding some chopped sage to this. A little bit of maple syrup all over the top. And a little bit of pepper. I can smell it. It smells great. They get a nice caramelized color on the edges of them. So now we're going to go ahead and dump these until I get ready to plate them a little bit later. Okay, this is kale, a superfood packed full of vitamins, antioxidants, and everything else that your pleasant body could need. Today I'm going to braise some of it though, using some shallots, some chicken stock, and a little bit of garlic too. So this is going to be a perfect accompaniment for our pork tenderloin and fall flavors. So here we go. So we're going to add the shallots. We're going to let those sweat till they get translucent. Then add a little bit of garlic, about a teaspoon. Ooh, I love that smell already. Whew. We added some salt and pepper to this. It looks like a lot, but it's going to wilt down a whole bunch. So we're going to add a little bit more to it as we need it. Pouring a little stock in there. And we're just going to let it go until it pretty much reduces by half. This right here is our ham stock reduced down with some apple cider, some Granny Smith apples, and some butter. I'm going to put this on the end of our pork, and you know what? It's plating time. We have sage, cumin, and fennel rolled pork tenderloin, sweet potato gnocchi with a whipped mascarpone cheese, some hazelnuts. We even have some braised kale and an apple cider ham stock reduction. I'd like to thank everybody. I want to thank your support for the show. We have much more coming in store for you. These are fall flavors, and this is Flagrantly Fragrant Cuisine. I'm your host, Kyle Lev. Peace, y'all.